This is a video trip report from one of my very favorite places to paddle, Rough and Ready Creek. This is pretty low water. You'll see this is the lowest water I would do it at. And it's a really beautiful place. It's really special. Hopefully you can see from this drone video, but you really have to get in there and see the rocks and see these trees and know there's more rare and endangered plants here than anywhere else in Oregon. So there's just so much cool botany. It's really important if you paddle here that you thoroughly wash off all your gear ahead of time. PFDs, boats, everything, so that you don't help spread the Port Orford cedar root disease. So if you've been paddling other places that have it, you can infect the trees here, which essentially is a death sentence for the trees. So please be aware of that. Also, access is difficult. There's long hikes in, some cross private properties, be careful. I don't know how everybody's gonna access this creek. I do it differently every time, but you're gonna have to get out a map and kind of figure it out on your own. So enjoy this place, respect it. Again, this is low water. You can also run it really high. Just kind of need to look at it, take out, and make a decision for yourself. And with that, let's get going.
It's so clear.
So water quality here is really unique. Well, you can see right now it's really clear. Even when the creek is really, really high, the water stays clear. And Rough and Ready Creek is one of the big reasons why the Illinois River downstream stays so clear so much. And for me, I absolutely love paddling here. There's so many cool things. There's, first of all, the rocks. It kind of feels like paddling through Mars. This is the same geology you see on the North Fork of the Smith. I believe it's called peridotite. I get really confused by all this. It's all serpentine. And the rock is brown on the outside, and that has to do with the weathering or the oxidation. I'm always confused by this. But if you see these rocks broken in half, it looks like normal serpentine rock. But again, I think this specific brownish one is called peridotite. And in the notes, if somebody wants to correct me, that would be super awesome. So beyond the geology and the clear water, the botany is also really amazing. We're paddling through this really cool Jeffrey pine forest. We see incense cedar. We see the rare Port Orford cedar. But also, depending on the season, if you look closely, there are a ton of really cool plants. And one of the most famous ones is the pitcher plant, the Darlingtonia californica. That's a scientific name. And they're a carnivorous plant. You see a few places here on the sides of Rough and Ready Creek. But there's a lot of other rare and endangered plants here. And so it's kind of a fun little like flower hunt if you want to in terms of paddling. So this is the kind of place you want to go to have some fun class for whitewater, but really do something unique and special and just enjoy your day. If you're a really solid paddler, you might be bored of the whitewater, but you're going to absolutely love the natural beauty this place has to offer. Here we are at Seats Dam. This is a definite portage. This has been run in the past, but a paddler has died paddling this or attempting to paddle it. So it's a pretty easy portage on the left. It all flows. It should be portaged. And just after Seats Dam is Boat Wrecker. This is the most difficult rapid on the trip. The geology really changes here. It's pretty unique. And, at all levels, it's different and challenging and definitely should be scouted. It can be scouted from the right or the left, depending on the flows. But it's just a really interesting rapid and definitely worth checking out. I'm not sure how I got the name Boat Wrecker, but it is some really interesting sharp rock that could definitely beat up a boat. And to me, the coolest part is as you approach takeout. You take out on Highway 199, the Redwood Highway, where Rough and Ready crosses it. You can't keep going. If you go just past the highway, you get to the West Fork of the Illinois, and you keep paddling down, the West Fork to the next bridge. But this section is just so unique to me. We're at low water today, and so it's channelized. But at higher water, the river goes through all kinds of really cool channels, and you can kind of pick and choose where you want and paddle through some trees. It's just a really unique spot, and it's, to me, the water going over the floodplain here and seeing the rocks and the snow-capped peaks in the background is just a really special experience and something that I personally absolutely love, and I hope that you do too. Again, if you go paddle there, please be respectful. This is a place we're savoring and respecting, and please make sure you wash all your gear before you go, and so you can avoid the spread of the Port Orford cedar root disease. And again, respect private property. And check maps before you go, because access is a little challenging. And we're just showing the lower section of the river, but we've paddled miles and miles upstream. There's some long hikes in, but there's some spectacular paddling upstream if you're looking for some adventure.